Okay, so now we will be discussing our new lesson, which is illustrating the T distribution. So first, let us know what is a T distribution. So T distribution, also known as the student's T distribution, is a probability distribution that is used to estimate population parameters when the sample size is small and or when the population variance is unknown. So when we say population variance, as you can remember from our past lesson, the sign for population variance is the small letter sigma squared when this is unknown, or this is the one that is missing, and then also when our sample size is less than 30. So we use the T distribution. Then it was developed by William Seeley in 1908. The formula used when n is less than 30 and the population standard deviation is unknown, the same as this one. And then the T distribution with n minus 1 as the degrees of freedom. Kapag sinabi natin degrees of freedom, that is simply the n minus 1 lang yung gagamitin natin dyan. So these are the things that you should know with the T distribution that we have. So let us move on and know what are the properties of a T distribution. So first, number 1, the T distribution is symmetrical about 0. So kapag sinabi natin symmetrical, from this line in the middle, and what is the size of this one? This is 50%. Therefore, this is also 50%. So, kung ano man yung mga na-side na nandito sa left or nandito sa right, the same lang siya ng nandito sa left natin sa ating T distribution. Next, number 2. The T distribution is a bell shape like the normal distribution but has heavier tails. Kapag sinabi natin heavier tails, yung mga dulo nila dito has much bigger percentage or not that big percentage ng mga nasa gitna, but they have a bigger spaces, or medyo mas malaki sila compared sa standard normal curve natin. So as you can see here sa illustration natin dito, itong color blue, which is the C distribution or the standard normal curve. Then we have here the T distribution when the n is close to 30, or yung value ng sample size natin is close to 30. That is the red line. And kapag ka green naman, that is the value of n natin or the sample size are smaller than 30. As you can see here, compared to the C distribution, yung mga tails natin dito sa C distribution, which is the blue, is mas maliliit yung percentage nila, or mas maliliit yung pwesto na nakukuha nila from the whole curve na meron tayo. Compared sa T distribution natin, as you can see, mas malalaki yung mga tails nila, or mas malalaki yung mga scope ng tails nila. Dito sa green natin, kung makikita nyo, mas makapal, which means mas malaki yung sakop niya na space. The same as dito sa red natin, which is also makapal din siya, which means mas malaki din yung nasasakop ng tails natin. That's what they mean when they have heavier tails. And then sabi dito, the mean, median, and mode of the T distribution are equal to 0, which means it is also located in here, which also means that the T distribution is unimodal. Okay? Then after that, the variance is always greater than 1 and it is equal to the number of the degrees of freedom. So as we have said before, to get the degrees of freedom, that is equivalent to n, or the sample size, minus 1 para makuha yung degrees of freedom natin. And as the degrees of the freedom increases, the t-distribution curve looks like more like the normal distribution. So as you can see in our legend here, yung color black na line natin, which is this one, that is the standard normal size. Sabi niya, when the degrees of freedom increases, the t-distribution curve looks like more like the normal distribution. So, let's say, dito sa red line natin, degrees of freedom is equals to 1. So, as you can see here, ito yung red natin, or with the degrees of freedom compared dun sa black natin. Then, the degrees of freedom is 3. As you can see, lumapit siya dun sa normal curve natin. So, sabi niya, as the degrees of freedom increases, mas lalo siyang nagmumukhang normal curve natin. Then after that, sixth property of t-distribution, the standard deviation of t-distribution varies with the sample size. So, yung standard deviation natin, depende sa number of sample size natin. And then the total area under a distribution curve is also equals to 1. Where also, the same as the normal curve, yung t-distribution natin is either kahit saan pa yung sa mga kulay na lang yan, hindi lang dun sa black natin, it is always equals to 1 or 100% pa rin siya. The same lang sa normal curve. So, let us know the difference between the t-distribution and the z-distribution. So, as you can see here, they all both as the bell curve, pareho sila ng shape. Then, symmetric, kasi nabi symmetric, from the line sa gitna, ulit, sabi symmetric ulit, kapag yung line natin sa gitna, and this is our curve, from this is 50%, this should always be 50%. Then yung mean natin, starts from 0. So in here, the standard deviation is unknown for t-distribution, while in z-distribution, the standard deviation is known. Then t-distribution is used for smaller sample size. Z-distribution is used for large sample size. And also, the t-distribution is defined by the degrees of freedom. So later on, malalaman natin kung ano ba yung what does it mean when we say defined by the degrees of freedom. Okay? So let us know first the formula on how to get the t-test, or which is simply the t-distribution is equals to the x bar minus the mean, population mean, or over the sample standard deviation all over the square root of the sample size. So from our previous lesson, we have already discussed on how to get those one. So in our example here, gagamit na lang tayo kung ano ba yung given natin, or they already have their values. So but on your some of your questions, minsan hinahanap yung value ng sample mean or the mean. At least you know how to get them from our previous lesson. Okay? So later on, we use this one as the t-test. When the t-test is less than the critical value, we must do not accept the hypothesis na meron tayo. And when the t-test is greater than or equal to the critical value, accept the hypothesis na meron tayo. Okay. So later on, gagamitin natin yan. And also, I will show you on how to guess the critical value sa t-table natin. Okay? So, let us have first on how to get the t-value. So, in here, we have the given n, or the sample size equals to 21. Then, the population mean is equals to 15.86. The sample mean is 16.4. And the sample standard deviation is 1.25. So, from our formula, t is equals to the x bar minus the mean all over the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. So, ang gagawin natin is didistribute lang natin siya. So, the value ng x mean natin, which is this one, is 16.4. Then, the value ng mean natin, which is this one, 15.86. That's why we have 15.86 here. Then, all over the sample size, the sample standard deviation, which is this one, 1.25. That's why we have 1.25 in here. Then, after that, the value of n, or the sample size, which is 21. That's why we have the square root of 21 in here. So, kapag in-input mo yun sa calculator mo, you will have the value of t, or the t-test, is equals to 1.98. So, you can try that on your calculator. Pwede nyo siyang isolve. Okay? So, parating gagamit tayo ng 2 decimal point and then mag-round off. Next example natin, we have the sample size of 29. Then, the population mean is 245.85. The sample mean is 246. Then, the sample standard deviation is 3.25. So, again, in our formula here, isa-substitute lang natin sila. So, the value of mean natin for the sample size, in the sample, the value of mean for the sample population, we have 246. That's why we have 246 here. Minus the population mean natin, which is 245.85. And after that, all over the value ng standard deviation natin, sample standard deviation is 3.25. That's why we have 3.25 here. Divided by the square root of n, or yung n natin is 29. So again, pag nilagay mo sa calculator, we have the t-test is equals to 0.249, or we can write this at 0.25. Okay? So again, gagamit tayo ng parati tayong mag-round off, and we just need 2 decimal places. So, let us have the example now, having with the degrees of freedom. Okay? So, in here, a student researcher wants to determine whether the mean score in the mathematics of 25 students in grade 8 is significantly different from the average of the school, which is 89. So, gusto niya daw makita yung yung kanyang hypothesis. So, let's say, hypothesis niya, sabi niya, researcher wants to determine whether the mean score of 25 students in grade 8, kung yung one section daw, so kung yung 25 students is significantly different from the average of the school, which is 89. So, gusto niyang malaman kung yung average of 25 students is different from the population mean of 89. Okay, so this is the hypothesis na meron tayo. Okay, so let's get first the given that we have. So sa given natin, 25 students, which is the sample size na meron tayo. Then the average of the school. So kapag ka sinabing the average of the school or the whole population, that is the mean population, which is 89. We use this formula mu, or the sign mu. Then after that, the mean and the standard deviation of the scores of the students are 95 and 15 respectively. So the mean natin, which is 95, and the standard deviation of the scores of the students is 15. That's why we have 15 here. Respectively, assuming we have 95% of confidence level. So our confidence level here is, let's 95% or 0.95. Okay? So, para makuha yung, bago natin isolve to, kunin muna natin degrees of freedom natin at saka yung confidence level or the alpha. So, sa ibang textbook or sa internet, this is also the sign of alpha. So, baka malito kayo. It's just the same, no? So, kunin muna natin yung degrees of freedom natin and also the critical value na meron tayo. Because later on, dito sa critical value natin, i-compared natin yung makukuha nating t-test para malaman ba natin kung i-accept ba natin tong hypothesis na meron tayo. I-accept ba natin siya or i-reject natin. Okay? So, itong critical value natin, which also represents for the T sub C. Okay? Remember that. So, kunin muna natin yung degrees of freedom natin. So, sabi natin, degrees of freedom is equals to the sample size minus 1. So, yung sample size natin is 25. That's why we have 25 here. Minus 1. So, the degrees of freedom natin is 24. This one, hahanapin natin ito mamaya sa t-value natin. Or sa t-table natin. Then after that, from our past lesson, to get for the alpha, ang gagawin lang natin is 1 minus the confidence level. So, 95% is equals to 0.95. That is equivalent to 1 minus 0.95. So, yung alpha natin is equals to 0.5. Which is makikita din natin yan sa t-table natin para makuha yung critical value. So, punta muna tayo dito sa critical value kung paano siya kunin. So, kung meron tayong, remember this one, the degrees of freedom is 24, then the alpha natin is 0.5. So, from our t-table here, as you can see here, the degrees of freedom, dito natin siya makikita. Degrees of freedom is 24, which is this one. Then after that, yung alpha natin is 0.5. 0.05. So yung alpha natin is makikita natin dito. 0.05. So 2 tails. Sandali. So kapag ka ito, this is equivalent to 1 tail only. Kapag ka ginawa natin yung 2 tails, divide by 2 lang natin, which is 0.025. So, hanapin natin yung may values na 0.05 saka 0.025. So, 0.05, which is this one. and also 0.025. Para hindi kayo nalilito, kapag ka one tail or two tails, gagawin nyo na lang, kunin nyo yung value ng one tail, which is 0.05, or any other values niyan, i-divide nyo sa 2, kung ano yung makuha nyo na alpha, at saka yung alpha squared natin, pagsamahin nyo sila, and hanapin nyo sila dito. Kasi dito, pwede kayong malito na 0.05, then hindi nyo alam yung isang value, pwedeng magkamali na kayo, baka ito yung mapili ninyo. Okay? So, mas maganda kunin nyo yung alpha natin, divide by 2, alpha, saka yung alpha divide by 2, para makasigurado kayo na dito kayo sa column na to titingin. Okay. So, dito sa column na to, dito tayo titingin. Ngayon, magbe-bring down lang tayo hanggang tumama sa 24. So, hanggang dito. And then ito, hanggang sa magkita sila. Then, we have this one. So, we have 2.064. This will be the critical value na meron tayo. 2.064. Okay? Then, after that, kunin na natin yung value ng t-test natin. So, yung t-test is equals to the sample mean minus the population mean all over the sample standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. So, again, i-substitute lang natin sila. X mean is equals to 95. Mean population mean is equals to 89. Sample standard deviation is equals to 15. Then the sample size natin, square root of sample size is equals to 25. Okay? So, kapag ka-input mo yan sa calculator mo, you will have the value of t or the t-test natin is equals to 2. Okay? So, dito na ngayon papasok yung pagko-compare natin yung dalawa or i-check natin kung pwede ba nating tanggapin yung hypothesis natin, kung i-accept ba natin siya or hindi. So, from here, ang sabi natin, kapag ka yung t-test natin, lagay natin dito sa unahan. Yan, nasaan na yan? Here. Yung t-test natin is less than the t critical value, do not accept. Then, kapag ka yung t-test natin is greater than or equal the critical value or the critical value ng t natin, accept the hypothesis. So, tingnan natin ngayon dito. Yung t natin, which is t-test is equals to 2. 2 is less than the critical value natin na 2.064. Is this correct? Or tama ba yung 2 is less than 2.064, which is correct, no? So, which means we will not accept this hypothesis. Average of 25 students is different from the population mean, population average, which is 89. So, yung average ng 25 students, which is 89, sabi niya, is different from the population mean na, this is 95, is different from the population mean natin na 89. So, since do not accept to, which means yung population, yung 95% is the same as the 89% of the population. Okay? So, that is how you make the conclusion. Basta kapag ka yung t-test natin is less than the critical value sa t-table natin, do not accept. Then, kapag ka yung t-test natin is less than or equal the critical value ng t-table natin, accept the hypothesis. So, if we make this into an illustration, para mas lalo yung naintindihan, okay. So, para mas lalo nating maintindihan, example, this is our curve. Example, this is our curve. Yan. So, we have here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Okay. So, from our given 2.064, so for our critical value is 2.064, then our t-test is equals to 2. So, kapag hinanap natin itong critical value natin, it is located in here. Let's say, 2.06. Okay. So, dito siya. Yung shaded na yan, that is the critical value. Okay. Then, yung value ng t-test natin is 2, which is located in here. Okay. Kapag hindi siya nag-align, or kapag hindi siya pumasok dito sa critical value natin, do not accept. Kapag nag-line naman, yung t-test natin or pumasok siya dito sa shaded area na to, accept the hypothesis. Okay? So, that is for the illustration of accepting or do not accepting the hypothesis natin. Okay? So, let's move on to our next example. So, in here, we have the given. Okay. So, given natin and sample size is equals to 16. The mean population is 95. The sample mean is 98. Then the sample standard deviation is 15. Then the confidence level is 99%. 99%. Or 0.99. Hanapin muna natin yung degrees of freedom saka yung alpha natin. So, yung degrees of freedom natin, n minus 1, 16, minus 1 is equals to 15. Ito yung kailangan natin para makita sa t-table natin, yung critical value. Then, after that, we have the alpha, which is 1 minus the percentage, or 0.99. That is equivalent to 0.01. Okay? So, hanapin natin yung critical value in our table here. We have 15, which is in here. Then, we have 0.01. Okay? So, kapag dinivide natin to, divide by 2, 0.01 all over 2. You can try this on your calculator para makita ninyo. 0.01 dali para sigurado tayo, no? So, kapag kinuha natin ito, 0.01 divided by 2, this is equivalent to 0.005. So, hanapin natin yung 0.005 saka yung 0.01. So, in here, 15 nakuha na natin. 0.005, which is this one, and 0.01. So, this column. So, hanapin natin bago siya mag-15. And in here, yung makukuha natin is 2.947. Check natin. So, this is the same as this one. Okay? So, this will be the value of our critical value. So, ngayon, isolve naman natin yung t-test natin. So, yung t-test, substitute lang natin yung given. So, 98 minus 95 all over 15 divided by the square root of 16. That is equivalent to 3 over 15 over 4. Kapag nilagay mo yun sa calculator, you will have, sabuhan natin yung decimal niya, no? 3 divided by 15 and then 4. Okay, so sarado siyang 0.8. So kapag tinignan natin yan, yung hypothesis niya dito, the teacher wants to determine whether the mean score of the in the statistics and probability of 16 students from grade 11 titles significantly different. So, yung mean ng 16 students, sabi niya, significantly different is different from the population mean. Okay. The sample mean is different from the population mean. Okay. Kung saan yung sample mean niya is equals to 98 and then yung population mean niya is equals to 95. Okay, sabi niya, hypothesis niya, yung 98 na average ng sample natin is different from the average ng population natin, which is 95. Okay? So, later on, i-check natin kung i-accept ba natin or hindi. So, since nakuha na natin yung critical value, kapag nilagay natin yan doon sa sa curve natin, 0, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So, kapag kanuha natin yan, yung 2.94 is located siya dito. And then, yung t natin is located at 0.8, which is in here. So, as you can see, hindi nag-lie yung t-test natin dito sa critical value natin. So, which means, t-test is less than the critical value natin. which means do not accept. So, sa sinabi niya na yung 98 is different from the population mean, this is wrong. Which means, 98 from the population mean, from the sample mean na 98 is the same as the population mean. So, it means yung 98%, 98 score na average sa 16 students is just the same as the 95 average of all the population of the grade 11 students taking statistics and probability. Okay? So, that would be the lesson that we have, and I guess that would be the final lesson that we will have, and good luck sa examination ninyo. Okay? So, that would be all, and thank you.